What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comic Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, we got more blood hunting. This time by way of Venom, issue number 33. And what makes this issue so crazy is that we all know Venom to be an apex predator. But with the events of blood hunt in full motion, something awakens that turns Venom from a predator to prey. And if you guys missed any part of this blood hunt event so far, then I'll put a card at the top of the screen for you right now. And I'll put up a link at the end of the video. But previously with Venom, his host, Dylan Brock, the son of Eddie Brock, was killed at the hands of Carnage. And Venom, however, was able to stabilize Dylan, but his soul had escaped Venom and traveled to the eventuality. Later though, Dylan reawakened, but Venom had already left his host, and now their separation comes at the worst time, since Sun Death has occurred and Blood Hunt has begun. So if you guys are ready to find out if Dylan and Venom can survive the start to this bloody event while being separated from each other, plus what the hell kind of predator is out there that can turn Venom into prey, then you guys already know what time it is. Let's get it. So we picked this story up with a couple of vampire pilots from like World War II or something, because one of the guys says that this is his first bombing run since 1945. His partner though has been at it since 1745, and he thinks that the other one is starting to get cold feet about what it is they're supposed to do. Apparently, whatever they're carrying in the back of this plane makes these guys look like vegetarians. The creature they're carrying doesn't think like they do. It doesn't know when to stop. If they let it out, it'll eat the whole world. But it'll start with its natural prey first. So they drop this creature right over New York City. So technically it's not an actual bombing, but it kind of has that same planned effect then. And when the creature lands on a building rooftop, the casket holding the creature opens. Ah, the creature responds. What a beautiful sky. No stars at all. No worlds to hunt me. Nobody to get in my way. And the scent of death in the air. Death and noble rot. Aged to perfection. The making of a lure. I smell symbiote. And if you guys are not familiar with this creature, his name is Threker or something like that, but better known as the Captive. Then we pick up with Venom, who doesn't smell symbiote, by the way. But as he kneels on a rooftop overlooking the city under this endless black sky, he's reminded of the last time the skies looked like this. It was back when Noel came to Earth. But Eddie Brock is the new king in black now, so he wonders if Eddie is returning. And he questions how he can face Eddie now. His only task was to protect his son Dylan, and he couldn't do that. And now Dylan is dead, Venom thinks. And he is now without a host. And the last time he was without a host was after Lee Price. Lee had damaged Venom, but it was Spider-Man that offered him sanctuary. Albeit not for long, and Peter Parker would never bond with Venom ever again. He'd rather die, and honestly so would Venom. Lee though had died in prison, and Venom has the memories from his offspring symbiote Mania, who Lee had also been host to. But Lee had become addicted to symbiosis, and when Carnage had been pretending to be Eddie in the prison, he tore Mania right out of Lee's body, and the shock of separation was fatal. Venom did, however, take Mania back, but Carnage had already eaten Mania's mind. But Noel was coming, so he never really had a chance to grieve. But now though, without a host, Venom will die soon. And in the time he has left, all he can do right now is grieve. So he thinks that now maybe would be a good time to go and visit Lee and apologize to him. Meanwhile, under the city, we find Dylan and Bryn and his symbiote Toxin. And right now, Dylan is no place to stay, so Toxin and Bryn are helping him set up this abandoned spot so he has some shelter. And Bryn would offer his family's couch to Dylan, but his dad would end up finding out about him. But Dylan understands and it's cool. In fact, he feels lucky that he doesn't have to worry about all that family stuff anyway. But Dylan does have a question for Brent and Toxin though. And that's, how well do they know each other? Because Venom never told Dylan any of his history, nor any of his secrets. And Dylan ended up finding out about all of the bodies that Venom and his dad Eddie were responsible for, and everything that he will do. But right now, Dylan can't feel Venom's mind, but he's fine with that. He actually never wants to talk to Venom ever again, even with all the craziness that's going on right now. But Dylan's not too worried about what's happening right now. Night fell and didn't get up again. Dylan's been there before. But at least this time it isn't Null. Or is it, the boys wonder. Maybe it could be. If Null came back, he would do something of this nature on a global scale just like last time. And the idea of that frightens Brent, who then decides that he better run and go check on his dad right now, just in case. And Dylan tells him don't worry about him, because he'll be fine down there all alone. Although unbeknownst to him, he's not alone. But then we pick back up with Venom as he approaches a cemetery to visit Lee Price. And Venom isn't looking too well either. It appears that he doesn't have very much time left until he's gone. But as he gets closer, he begins to feel a huge stab of pain, and he wonders if that's his starvation already setting in. But he realizes that can't be it. It came from something connected to him. Kind of like salt in a wound, or acid, or even venom. And he wonders, what is his venom? If he feeds on hosts, what feeds on him? What would a natural symbiote for symbiotes look like? Would it feed on all of the bodies the symbiotes leave in their wake? But as he approaches the grave for Lee Price, it's dug up and it's empty. And he wonders, would it do this? Or would it do worse? But then he begins to hear sounds, and when he turns around, the decrepit body of Lee Price and Mania walks in his direction. And Venom knows that Lee was autopsied and embalmed, so there's nothing human that could be remaining in his body. But then the undead Lee Price reaches his hand out to Venom, and now Venom begins to feel helpless, kind of like they're human victims. "You're not Lee," Venom says to the undead Price. "Lee died. Mania is gone. Even my codex was torn out of you. What are you? A zombie symbiote? A zombiote?" Venom thinks. Regardless though, if this isn't the real Lee Price, then there's no need for his headstone, as Venom rips the headstone apart and then he uses it to bash over the head of undead Lee. But then a voice tells Venom that won't stop it. And when Venom turns around, he's met by that creature from the beginning of the story, the symbiote predator. And it tells Venom that the undead Lee was his lure. "Did you even realize that you were being called?" he asks Venom. "Or did you think coming here was your own idea? It's how my kind have always fed on yours, using your weak point, your vulnerability, your hosts. My species is almost gone now, hunted to extinction. But you still fear me, don't you? Even an apex predator fears something. For every living thing in the cosmos, there's a natural enemy, even for Clintars. After all, what defines the cage? The captive. And as it gets closer to Venom, Venom can feel it deep in his cells. Recognition. He knows this creature by instinct, because long ago on the world that Venom came from, the captive's kind grew fat on Venom's kind. He could feel his power. Even at full strength, all Venom would be to such a being is prey. And he's already hungry and weak right now, so he questions what options he has to save himself. But then we switch back over to Dylan, as he just lays there with nothing to do. He's meant to be the Codex. He's got a necro sword in him. He could be out there swinging it right now. But he can't summon the sword on his own because he's only half symbiote. But he feels that he shouldn't need Venom to get out there and help. But that's when that other person that was hiding in there with him speaks and tells Dylan that we all need someone. And when Dylan asks, who's there? The stranger responds, a soul on a mission to minister to the homeless, as it were, to save their eternal lives. But then this guy had heard Dylan and Brent talking about Venom, which makes him a friend of a friend, or the enemy of an enemy, he tells Dylan, as he steps out of the shadows, revealing himself. And he tells Dylan that he learned the same dark secrets about Venom that Dylan did, because a very long time ago, a lifetime ago, he took Venom's confession as this vampire priest is revealed. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what did you guys think about it? And how do you guys think that Venom is going to escape from the grasp of the captive? And will this priest end up being a helper for Dylan? And do you guys think that Dylan will end up eventually rebonding with Venom? I want to hear all you guys' conspiracy theories about this story and its connection to Blood Hunt. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you could do so by stopping by the Comics Icon store and picking you up some of this merchandise, including the background music heard right here in this video, now available for download. Or by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership, and it'll be a link in the description to join. But with your membership, your voice will be heard during our weekly interactive live streams with yours truly, where we talk about everything that's been going down in these issues, as well as ones that you'd like for me to go over in the future and other comic book news. Plus, you guys will get loyalty badges, member shout-outs, and up to 20% off of Comics Icon's merchandise from the Comics Icon store. And now we've got new tiers to the memberships as well, starting at just 99 cents. Now, how's that for an easy way to help out and support your favorite channel? Or you guys can donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of that, then you can still be a tremendous help to the future of this channel by dropping a like, share, and subscribing to Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out. Peace.